Hi there. In this Adobe Creative Cloud video, I'll use InDesign to add interactive form elements to a layout. So I'm just going to open up my document. It's in my Lesson 8 folder, and it's called Subscription Form. I can just use my file manager or Finder on your Mac, or Bridge, or choose File Open, whatever you like to do. I'm going to update modified links, and the workspace I'm using is interactive for PDF. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a couple of radio buttons here and a checkbox here. So radio buttons will only allow one option to be selected. So if I click on my buttons and forms panel there, and I click on my menu, I have sample buttons and forms, and I'm just going to drag this one here to anywhere in my layout. So I'm going to drag this one, the radio buttons. Doesn't matter where you put it. Now I'm going to resize all of these. So I'm going to use this constraint proportions. I'm going to use, and I'm going to enter 1p2. And I'm just going to click away and click one of these radio buttons and edit cut. I'm going to use my type tool, and I'm going to click in this little box here, and I'm going to choose edit paste. You can also use Control X and Control V. I'll do the same thing with this one. Edit cut and type tool into that cell, edit paste. Let me just zoom in a little bit bigger here so we can see what we're doing a little better. Now I'm done with this one. I'm not going to have a checkbox here, or a radio button. I'm going to have a checkbox. So it's not the same group here. So I'll choose buttons and forms, the menu here, sample buttons and forms, and I'm just going to grab that one there and just drag it anywhere in my layout. Again, constrain, and I'm going to put in 1p2 for that one as well. I'm going to cut it. Right now it's just floating outside of the table. I want it inside the table. That's why I have to paste it. And I'll choose edit paste. Next thing I'm going to do is draw a rectangle inside of this table cell, and I'll make that a form element as well. So I can just grab my rectangle tool, draw a rectangle. Doesn't matter how close to the right size it is, we'll resize that next. So with that selected, I'm going to click on this constrain, so they're no longer constrained, and I'm going to make that 20p, and I'm going to make that 1p2 tall. And in my swatches here, for my fill, I'm going to choose paper. For my stroke, I'm going to choose none. Now I want to make this a form element as well. So I go to buttons and forms. For type, I'm going to choose text field. And I'm going to make that required. and I'm going to make the font size auto. So the font, the text will fit in this box with auto. Required means there'll be a red box around that to indicate that the end user must fill that out. So I'm just going to copy and paste this to all of these fields. I'll just zoom out so you can see what I'm doing. There you go. And use my selection tool, edit, copy, my text tool, click inside of the cell. The cursor's blinking over there, it's hard to see. Edit, paste. Edit, paste. Again, you can use Control V as well. Now, for the expiration date, I want the end user to be able to choose a month and a year. So for that field, I'm just going to make that 3 P wide. Not 30, but 3. There we go. And for button and form, I'm just going to make sure I have that selected. I have to deselect and then select again. There we go. And the type is combo box. And then we can add our choices here. So I'm going to have 0, 1 to 12 for my months. Zero, 2. I hit plus until I have all 12. So now I have all 12 months there. Now I'm going to add a slash and do the same thing for a year. So I'm going to use my type tool, type in a /. I'm just going to go ahead and copy this one. And paste it, Control V, and select it. For buttons and forms, I'm going to remove all of these and then change them to, I'm just going to have 7 of the next years. So I'll enter 2021, add, until I have 2027. So now I have 2021 through 2027 to pick for a year. Now I'm going to grab one of these radio buttons here, edit, copy, grab my type tool and paste that here. Now we have to change the name of this radio button. If for my buttons and forms, I presently have R3 selected here for a name. Now if I go back up here to the top of my form, select one of those, that's also R3. So these, basically, if they all have the same name, then you can only select one of that name. So this one will turn off when I select this one, and vice versa. We don't want the ones related at the bottom related to these ones at the top, so I'm going to give them a new name before I paste. So I'm going to select that one there. I'm going to go to buttons and forms again. For instead of R3, I'm going to say discover. Press enter, and now I'm going to paste that. Copy and paste, that is. I'm just using Control V, And I also want to make this a button as well. So I'll select that, choose buttons, and I'm going to choose button. And I'm going to add an action to make it submit form. So now we have a working form. I'm just going to clean up a little bit of stuff here. I'm going to quickly align all of these left so that everything's lined up to the left of that text there to look tidier. So I'm going to click on that one, hold down Shift. Actually, I have to use my type tool to select those cells, and I'll use left align, and then I'm just going to resize those to be a little bit narrower as well. Do the same thing down here. Again, type tool, left align, these ones as well, left align, and I'm just going to resize that cell to be narrower. Something like that. So everything lines up nicely. If I double click on my hand tool, it'll fit my form to my work area, and it looks pretty good. So let's give it a shot. We'll try it out. So to do that, we go File, Export. For a type, we use PDF Interactive. I'll put it into my Lesson 8 folder, and I'll call it Subscription Form. Choose Save. Notice we say View after exporting, so this will open up in Adobe Acrobat. Just opened up over here. I'll drag it in so you can see it. There we go. And notice if I click one of these items, we can only click one of those. We can also click that. We can enter text. Notice that all of these have a red border around them to indicate they're required. And we can pick a month number and a year number. And you can only pick one of these. And then to submit, you click on Submit. Gives me a security warning. I would choose Allow. It's not actually submitting anywhere. It would hook into a website via PHP and SQL, but we're just doing the front-end design. So for our purposes, it's our form is complete. So that is, again, using InDesign to create, by the way, choose No. The changes that they're talking about is the filling in of the form. So the end user would save this and then submit it to us. But we don't have to, we're just testing it. So I'm going to choose No, and I'll choose save this as subscription form. NDDD, and save. I'll put it in Lesson 8. There we go. So again, we looked at how to add radio buttons, check boxes, text boxes, combo boxes with drop-down lists, and a submit button. Thanks so much for watching.